Hello, everybody. Welcome back. Going into part 2 of the climb of Firefinger. There's been some falling, but no one's died yet. It's just been like mildly obnoxious falling and then sturges. But it's time for your just rewards. It's time to get what you caused all this trouble for, Ishi.
Yes.
So, Ishi, do you just like immediately throw yourself at the gold, or?
Well, once it looks like there isn't anything horrible else horrible happening and nobody's screaming or anything, then yeah, I check out the gold.
Okay, all right. So you throw yourself down at the desiccated corpse. And yeah, it's a person. It's impossible to tell their species now. Their body has been drained of all life. And in fact, I think when you pick up the pouch, the sort of papery remnants of the skin clinging to her bones kind of just crumbles. And you take the pouch away, and inside you find 15 gold. There is also on one of their fingers a gold ring with a carnelian inset in the shape of a drop of blood. And in the pouch, two strange-looking, like maybe onyx figurines. They're carved. They're about like maybe they're gaming pieces or little statues. They're about I don't know, a couple inches, couple inch. They're black, carved out of black stone, to look like human figures, but with flat, featureless faces, and then a sort of tangled, like squiggle of hair carved on the back. So they maybe are wearing a mask. And then they have little inset white, like opal or mother of pearl or something, markings on their arms and on the face. Yeah, you don't recognize what these are carvings of, but the two statues are certainly, the two little statues are worth, they're certainly worth something.
I've got the two statues, like one in each hand. The ring is on my finger already, so if it's got a horrible problem with it, let me know. And the 15 gold I'm willing to like hand out. But
yeah, so the ring for future referencing, because it's a hassle to like not just tell you. There's 15 gold. The ring is worth 60 gold. And each of the figures you could sell for 50 gold apiece.
Okay.
Annoying, not quite full number.
So I have the gold in my hands and I'm like, this is what I came in here for. I didn't see the sturges when I came in here.
Here's a question, party members. Are we sharing the gold with Izakra?
You're just gonna have this conversation in front of her?
No, I'm asking us, and then
so we flash back to a tavern in Port Nyanzaru.
Yeah, I seem to remember the conversation being that as long as we helped her, we could have.
I mean, you also never. She's a guide, not a combatant, right? Like she could very easily, if you're sticking to the letter of the plan, she could just be like, "Okay, have a fun fight." So like, yeah, you know, she has been just, I'm not saying that you're wrong, but she has been going out of her way to like help you.
I'm fine splitting up 5 ways.
Listen, it doesn't really matter to me either.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, I mean, you don't have 43.75 or whatever gold yet.
Coins a piece, and then some things that we can sell.
Okay. So who's going to hang on to the statues?
I will keep the ring, and I'll give the statues up to somebody who cares more about this kind of thing.
I mean, either myself or Malik would probably be people that care about fancy statues.
Yeah, I'm interested.
You're an archaeologist, right?
Right.
Yeah, I know. It makes sense that you would look
what they represent as well as how much they are worth.
Would you like to take a closer look at them?
I would love to. I'd love to give them a little examine. History?
Yes, please.
Okie dokie. Where is that? H for history.
Oh wow! Yeah. Look how smart you are. Yeah, you recognize these things. They are they represent Chultan spirits. They're like about a third of actual scale. Like they're 1/3 scale. The actual creature they depict tend to be around 6 inches tall. Yeah, and these are Chewinga. They're little elemental
Chwinga.
spirits. Yeah, they live in flowers and plants, and if you find them and they like take a liking to you, they can grant you blessings. They're supposed to live in the jungles, and they serve Ubtao, who's an elder god of Chult.
Awesome. Cool. I've made a note of some of the bits there.
Okay, yeah. So you have two Chwinga statues and this ring, and you got some gold.
Neato bandito.
Okay.
Yeah, so like if there was any hesitation in terms of like distributing gold amongst purses, I think that we would have a conversation. But if we've already just been like, it's fine, then 3 gold apiece to including Azaka.
Okay. Yeah. So she takes the coins.
Yeah, just so we know that it's going to come up, I don't sell art objects or treasure that have historical significance. So we'll have to negotiate
Yeah,
that.
you can talk about it later when you decide.
Well,
what's
what's
significant.
historical significance?
I mean, these are
Do these belong in a museum? Is that what you're saying?
I also have this artifact belongs in a museum. Yeah.
Well, the only purpose here is that you'd have to take them back to Nyanzaru, figure out if these like what their origins are and what historical or cultural significance they have, and then determine where they end up. But we'll get to that. That's a good point.
I'll be a jerk about it.
Okay, so there's the open, basically the open air lies before you, and you can feel the warmth of the jungle settling as the sun vanishes over the horizon, and the nocturnal animals. Maybe we hear like a jaguar somewhere in the distance.
I'm not sure how much more I can take of this, honestly.
I think perhaps what we should do is hole up in this Sturge cave for a moment and rest.
Do you need an hour or the whole night?
Well, that depends. Would you like a cleric that can heal you or one that cannot?
Fair enough. I think we should set about.
It looks
Looking-
like twilight is almost over. Perhaps dawn would be more appropriate for the continued climb.
We should check what the next part of the.
So Azaka pipes up right when you say that, and she says, "If we climb during the day, the Terrafolk will see us on the outside of this tower. Cover of darkness is the only thing preventing them from picking us off the sides and hurling us into the jungle."
Regardless, if we get to the top and we have to fight Terrafolk, which I think we're going to, I'm going to need at least an hour.
We can rest for an hour and then continue to climb and then figure out whatever, but I don't have any more spells, so that's something to consider when we get to whatever level.
And you only get your spells back on a long rest?
Yeah, I
Okay.
believe so.
I think so my 2 cents would be that our best bet is to long rest and then like risk, an encounter or whatever, right? Like spend some time waiting until nightfall and then keep climbing.
I agree.
Because otherwise we go off half-cocked. And like, this is
And we
me,
can't
this is me, Andrew,
afford
the player, talking.
Yeah, and that's
Yeah,
that's
little
a
Fox
valid
just like
Yeah.
crosses her arms and sits in the corner, right? Like,
yeah, and that's a valid conversation to have, right? The out of character conversation, the like what should we do
I
mechanically,
agree.
because
I agree
it
that
does matter.
Like we need our.
Yeah, it's long rest. Just want to make sure.
Yeah. So I think that's the plan.
yeah, little Fox just looks like concernedly at her tiny kobold friend and like crosses her arms and sits in the corner, just being like, pointing at the ground, just being like, we should rest.
Don't give me that look. I'm fine, but yes, we should stay here.
It'll still be dark-ish. Like if it's dusk,
Yeah.
more or less dusk now. You rest for 8 hours. You should have like an hour of pre-dawn.
Like night into dawn.
Mhm.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's what I was saying. Like, and it's a different form of twilight, right? Like we leave like at dawn times, and they
It just
should
puts you
still
puts you on a timer, because if it takes too long to get up there, and it's like,
Yeah.
cool, it's date. You climb the tower to the top as the sun rises, and the Terrafolk are all like, "What up?" and they dive all over you. But you're just on a bit of a timer, which is
All
fine.
right. Fine.
Was good.
Yeah.
Okay,
I think it's worth it to have spells.
I agree.
so you hunker down in here.
Yes.
All right. Let me
Pile up corpses in the doorway.
check.
Yeah, and like this is as good a spot as any, right? Like,
Yeah, it's like a little tucked away little cave.
I feel like it is. We have
So-
2 entrances, and we can watch both of them.
Yeah. I'll get my spells back.
Wait until we've succeeded or failed.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Well.
I think Adam needs to determine whether or not we get.
Yeah, whether you
right.
get interrupted. Yeah, thanks, Dave. Okay, well, I'll give you your experience. So let me get my calculator here because you get experience for the last encounters you were in for the spiders
And the Sturges.
and the sturges. 25. Okay.
Stop. That's loud.
Okay, and then divide that by 5. Okay, everybody gets 80 experience. 92 experience.
Hmm.
Because also I gave you some experience for the climb up the thing because it was dangerous.
Halfway.
Okay, all right, so that's paid.
475 here.
Yep.
Yeah, except for Andrew.
Score.
Who is 500?
Okay, all right. So you rest throughout the night. It's dark, so it's relatively easy to sleep, except for Ishi. You always have a little bit of trouble because your natural cycle is inverse of the people you hang out with.
Yeah, I'm nocturnal.
Yeah, so it takes you some work to get to sleep. But eventually you do, and you all rest. And I think you don't hear. It sounds like the terrafolk are diurnal. You don't hear them flapping around outside during the night. So,
Okay.
so nothing interrupts your rest.
Okay.
Well, as the sky starts to gray with dawn, we shrug on our packs and
Let's be on our way.
Yeah.
the video gamer in me looks at this thing of like, there's a little cliff edge that wraps around out of sight, and I'm like, there's totally a secret power up around the other side of the thing.
Yeah, go the
So,
wrong way.
question.
Yes.
I still have to cast the water thing, right?
You don't have to do it now. You just do it sometime before the end of the day.
Yeah, leave it for now.
Just don't
Okay.
blow. If you blow all your spells and we get to the end of the day and you have no water, then yes, that's bad.
Okay.
But you actually have some flexibility. You don't have to cast it now.
Okay.
So Little Fox, you step out. This ledge is just barely 5 feet wide. Wind is blowing past you. The ladder you were standing on is a down ladder, but it does not go all the way down. It extends a ways and then is broken off.
Right. So this is why we couldn't come up this way.
That's right. That's why you couldn't come up the outside. So there's like,
So there's another ladder around one of these sides.
and just for your vertigo purposes, you're 160 feet off the ground now.
It's very high up.
Yeah,
Right.
it is.
Not
I
that
don't
Little
have
Fox seems to notice or care.
Yeah,
Um,
quite high up.
I don't have any problems with heights.
I think I can probably make my way around the edge of this.
Yeah, I
Probably.
mean, Little Fox is just gonna go. What is this? What is this rolling that happened?
I was trying to see the syntax for how much average falling damage we would take, but it's not an X for multiplication.
So here, I'll bring everybody so you can
Yep.
see the outside map again.
So again, we're gonna do some stuff with rope. So I'm gonna tie a rope around Ishi's waist and a same rope around my waist, and let her go around.
Go
So that if she
around,
does
yeah.
fall, she won't fall all the way.
Okay.
She'll get hurt, but like not splat.
Yeah, we'll
on
like bounce off the walls and stuff, but
yeah, and we'll do our best to not let that happen.
okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay. So Ishi, you start to head out there.
Yeah. I circle around the tower towards that ladder on the outside that we can see there. Like I want to go over here, basically.
Okay. So you start to make your route, and yeah, it's like wind like blowing past you and like pushed up against the wall, and your cloak's fucking flapping. Your stolen von Saberberg cloak flapping in the wind. You start to squirm around the other side, and yeah, there is a ladder there. and you can, if you want to, climb up.
I'm gonna wait for my companions at the foot of the ladder.
That ladder is it's like 90 feet up, and it's
Yeah.
old. It's an old looking kind of rickety ladder.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
So the key with all these ladders is obviously to send the heaviest, largest person up first, because if I can make it, great, it'll definitely support all of you. And if I can't, well, you don't want to leave me behind anyways, right? So
Yeah.
so
But also,
Ishii gives
it's
the,
all
like, tug on the
athletics checks, right? So I can't.
yeah. Do you
come
give the tug on the rope to like bring more? Yeah, and I like come around.
Okay, so who's holding the rope when you go?
It's still tied to me.
Okay, so just the two of you are tied together.
Yeah.
Okay,
yeah,
so
we're gonna, like,
Ishii,
tag team this.
Ishii, when Little Fox is moving, the rope goes from being a help to a liability, because if Little Fox falls, you definitely get yanked off the side of the thing with her. Okay. All
This is a
right.
trust exercise.
Yeah.
I mean, that is the case, but also it's one of those things where, like, if I took it off, that would just show that I wasn't working with my partner.
Ishii,
Mhm.
you see Little Fox moving around the corner. The wind picks up and hits the wall at an angle where it pushes off the wall. You like kind of like spin your arms a little bit. I need both of you to make DC 9 dexterity saving throws, please.
Okay.
What could possibly go
I'm gonna use
wrong?
inspiration.
Okay, good call. Yep.
Maybe I will do the same, because this is about not killing my friend.
Yeah, Ishii, you got yours, but now this is the important. Okay, all right, good.
Yeah, no, we
All
both
right,
make.
So the two of you managed to like slam yourselves up against the side of the of Firefinger. The wind howls past you. Nobody falls. The rope is like snapping in the wind.
Yeah, and like Little Fox just like digs her hand into the rock, just like, and like makes eye contact with Ishii, and there's this moment of both of us just being like, "Fuck."
Yeah, we're alive for now.
We made
and
it.
then when the wind calms down, she like pulls her hand away from the stone, and like some rocks and like trickle down off the wall and fall.
Yeah,
And she keeps edging towards you.
we get that like looking down like Neo on the edge of the building with the
as
stone
the little pebbles like tumble.
flying down into the jungle. Yeah. And from up here, Ishii, you can see the places where some of the tree cover, the branches have broken from things falling from above.
Things being dropped in.
Yeah.
Yeah. And then I'm gonna test out the ladder and start going up.
How are you gonna get past Ishii? Because Ishii went out first.
Yeah, well, there's like the ledge extends.
Is there further ledge? Yeah,
you can go past the ladder on the other
I keep going past the ladder just a little bit.
Just a little bit so that I can get started.
Okay. All right.
I untie from her because the rope, I like look up and like kind of like do a little hemming and hawing and then like untie because it's only 50 feet of rope,
Yeah.
Minus what it took to tie around each other. So like maybe it does half the distance.
Mhm.
And so she
Sorry.
like,
Didn't we at
bundles
the
it
start of
up.
all this tie a rope together to be like 150 feet? Like, and wasn't the rope up the ladder advantage on the climb? Like, we need to have a rope helping us up the ladder.
Which is what little
Yeah,
Fox.
I think that's what Little Fox's plan is here.
yeah. So like
Little Fox has all the rope. It's just that section was a 50-foot section.
If I were a better former Cub Scout, I would know how much rope a knot would take up.
about 3
it's-
feet
yeah,
tying
it's-
them together, you end up with like 147 feet of rope.
Yeah.
Someone actually in the YouTube comments told us it's about a foot,
There you go.
for the knot. Yeah.
half a foot on both
Yeah.
ends.
Yeah,
Makes sense.
it's fine.
And so, yeah, she like spends a little bit of time like fiddling with ropes, and then like puts the end of one in her teeth and starts climbing.
Okay.
With Ishii holding the like slacked coil.
Yeah.
Because we don't want to just like chuck the rope down. That's actually kind of dangerous, all this kind of stuff. So there's like some managing of the details of this.
Keep it like relatively taut and like feed it up instead of just
Yeah.
like.
And I feel like this is probably a scene where we see that the two of them can like work together very quickly, quietly, just like doing stuff with rope and other complicated tasks.
I feel like
just
these skills were honed like breaking into building.
Yeah.
Yeah, like getting over walls that we weren't meant to.
There's a small flashback to like, oh, we just need to get up to that 3rd floor window. It won't be a problem.
Look, they left it open. Throw me up there.
It's clearly not an issue.
Or like a warehouse that we wanted to get into and we have to go over like a security wall, stuff like that. Yeah. So
Okay.
And then she just starts hauling herself up this thing carefully and slowly, like testing each rung. and then putting her weight on it, like
All right.
taking no chances.
So it's an athletics check, I think. It was
Using
the check was weird last time. It's
You said athletics using
Athletics,
dex. I don't
yeah,
think
dex
any of us
athletics.
actually have athletics as a marked skill, so it's just a dex save,
It's just
really.
a dex roll. Yeah. Okay, cool. So I will roll my dexterity.
okay.
Not my best work, but like
Okay.
an 8.
Yeah. You make it. Just
Okay.
barely, right? There's a few moments of like a foot slipping or whatever as
Yeah,
you.
because the ladder is so janky and
Yep.
weird.
Yep. And when you reach the top of the ladder, there's a little, as you can see, a little outcropping that's like in the real map. It's like 20 feet across.
Yeah. Okay. So there's like a much smaller landing for this one.
Yeah. And then there's a cavern that goes basically straight in. Yeah, basically just like straight into the inside. There's no lip around here, or there's the remnants of a lip that have like crumbled away.
Yeah.
There used to be
been,
like balconies
eroded.
and stuff here, but yeah.
And yeah, like letting out a very quiet like breath of relief. She takes the rope from her teeth and like ties it around her waist and grabs onto it so that she can help people up and like gets set and solid.
Okay.
And
And-
gives it the tug to indicate that she's ready.
I think that Arcturus like peeks around the corner and he's like trying not to vomit.
Come on, you can do
And
it.
he
I
says
believe
like, I'm just supposed to. You had rope.
Yeah, but now the rope is for the ladder. You just gotta come around the corner. Just be careful.
I'm gonna die.
Yeah, the wind.
Goodbye forever. What do I have to do to get from here
I mean,
to there?
nothing yet.
Nothing.
We see how your luck is. Okay, the wind is not strong enough to try to pull
You're
you
fine.
off of the wall.
It's plenty strong enough to make me feel like I'm gonna vomit.
Yes, it's
Oh,
not
yeah.
fun being this high up, and it howls past you, and you sneak past and then get around the corner, and the wind is kind of at an angle where it's coming around that corner that it tries to grab you and like throw you off the wall, but it's not strong enough. You're heavy. It's fine.
Okay, well, I look to Ishi and I'm like, I don't want to stay out here, and I just like make to go up the ladder.
Sure, you go first.
I'm gonna use
Guidance.
inspiration and
Guidance.
guidance.
Okay.
Dear
Inspiration
Lord.
and guidance. Okay,
I know that
so
I am
it's
far from your wavy bosoms.
So it's just a dex save, basically.
Everything returns to sea level eventually.
Roll your guidance.
Yes,
Is it a dex save or is it a
well,
dex
it's
roll?
not a dexterity save. It is a dexterity roll plus your proficiency modifier if you have the athletic skill.
I don't.
Okay, so just roll your dexterity.
And I'm using inspiration and I'm going to roll my guidance.
Okay, so guidance first,
Oh, sorry.
or whatever. I guess it doesn't. It doesn't matter. I mean, you have advantage from the rope, right?
Yeah,
Yeah.
good choice using.
But I'm sorry. I have armor. Does that
Did you
interfere
have
with
disadvantage
dexterity?
last time? I don't think. I think it's only on stealth.
No.
It was stealth
Okay.
and like drowning, right?
Yeah.
Swimming. Okay.
Okay. So,
All right. If you didn't have the rope, you would have broke the ladder and potentially fallen.
well, I guess like there's a part where I like tug on the rope a little more hard because I feel like the
Yeah, and there's like the scrabbling up top as little fox like gets her footing set, like has to reset her footing to catch you and like take that weight on. So
yeah, and Arcturus gets up to the top like in this like 20-foot ledge and like immediately like scoots back to like the farthest point and like sits down and looks like he's probably gonna throw up.
Adam,
Mhm.
just to punctuate this particular moment, can we get a little bit of that wind howling?
Yeah, you want some
Can I just-
ambiance?
Can I just have some of that?
It's beautiful.
All right.
Oh, you think 200 feet in the air, you're like, oh shit.
Yeah. Yeah, for the real
Great,
effect,
just in
let's
time for Malik and
all
Ishi to
just
have
gently
to let-
sway back and forth nervously.
All right, and so Malik's still around the corner, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
So is Azaka.
So
Yeah.
so I go like,
Waiting for.
come on, I'll go last, but you need to come over here and get up the thing.
Yeah, Malik is waiting because Azaka is the most scared of this, so he wants to like let her choose whether she wants to go before him or after. He's trying to be very kind of like
So you
considerate.
turn to look at her.
Yeah.
Okay, so she's still well inside. Like she's probably like 10 feet back still. And you look at her, and she just looks at you with wide eyes and just does one of these.
All right, Azaka, this is going to be dangerous. And I know you're worried, but I tell you what. Back home, for good luck, my dad showed me this symbol. And if it's on you, it means you always come back safe from an expedition. And he prestidigitates this small, like, script-looking symbol, just like onto the front of her armor, and it like glows like faintly yellow. And he says, "All right, you should be fine now."
She looks at it and looks at you. You want to roll deception?
It's not deception. He's just trying to.
You just lied to her
Yeah,
about
you just straight up
her
told
being
her.
protected. It was like, this is a magic trick, right? Okay, let's see. I'll make a save for her because it specifically calls out on her character sheet that she's like terrified of heights.
And she wants to believe that she'd be safe, though. Right?
Well, she wants to go back down to the fucking ground, is what she
I mean,
wants.
sure. She also wants her goddamn mask, though. So suck
Well,
that.
and that's the
shit
thing,
off.
right? Okay, so she looks at you, like looks at the symbol, and she shakes her head, and she's like, I can't, and like takes a step backwards, and like stumbles a little bit on one of the Sturge corpses.
Wait a second. Like his deception roll was higher than her wisdom, so shouldn't she be fooled?
No, it's to give her enough to like get over it, to boost her. Like I gave her advantage on this wisdom roll because he got a 12, and she still only got an 8. She's not brave enough, so she just like takes this like staggering step back and puts her hands up, and she's like, I can't do it.
All right.
Can you make Malik make a perception check for me?
Sure. Oh, I'm bad at this.
Okay, all right. So yeah, she looked like she's terrified.
All right. Well, wait for us here. Make sure nothing comes up after us. We'll look for this mask. What is it that we're looking for exactly? I'm sure it'll be the only one, but just so I'm sure.
So even with the the dim light, right, coming in from outside as dawn like very gently breaks, you can see on her face a combination of, she's gotten over the fear now that you've told her she doesn't have to climb up, but now it's shame, right? Now she's like, now you're gonna go up there and you're gonna do this thing for me, and I can't help you. And so she's just like, she can't even look at you. She doesn't like make eye contact. She looks down, and she says, the mask looks like a tiger, a cat face.
All right. Well then, we'll do our best. And he dissipates the symbol on her, and just in case it comes up in the future again, he pops it on himself.
Right. Okay.
To kind of keep it up.
I like it. Yeah. So as you turn to go, she starts to say something. She's like, Malik, and then like cuts it off and doesn't finish the sentence. And you hear her walk like back into the cave, and she like snarls out a curse, and you hear her like kick one of the Sturge bodies wetly.
Okay, let's give it a go.
All right. Do you have inspiration, Dave?
I do not.
Okay, you do now.
Thank you.
All right, let's see how your luck holds, Malik. So the wind is strong, but not enough to push you around.
You're up next, Malik.
I don't know how loud the wind is, but it's kind of loud to Ishi's.
You're up next, Malik.
Yeah, come on, buddy, you can do it.
I tried as hard as I could. Azaka's terrified. She's not coming with us. She can't. I could see it in her eyes.
Fine, leave her behind. Just hurry up. The rope is just hanging there.
Okay. I'm going to spend the inspiration to do the climb.
Okay.
You
The
already have
rope
advantage
gives you
somehow.
advantage, right? So
Yeah, you
instead
don't
of
actually have to
inspiration,
spend
it's
advantage.
worthless.
Yeah.
So that
Oh, of course.
does that mean I still have mine then?
Yes, you do.
All right, and it's just dexterity. Yeah. Whew.
Okay. All right. So Malik, you're gonna make the climb, but in the midst of your climb, you're halfway up. Little Fox and Arcturus, you hear behind you this kind of clicking like noise, and as you turn, you see approaching the entrance an enormous sort of saurian-looking creature. I hope y'all can see that. It's walking on, it's like somewhere between a pterodactyl and a person. It's vaguely bipedal, kind of like hunched over. When it walks on the knuckles of its like wing hands, and then it has like longer back legs. And it's blinking these kind of yellow, milky yellow eyes at you as it comes around the corner out into the light and like cocks its head and looks menacingly in your direction.
Can I try and speak to it in primordial?
I mean, yes, you can
the
say
air
something. You
language
can say
version?
something in primordial if you want to.
I mean, that's the closest thing that I think it would be able to understand, right? Like the language of the air creatures.
Yeah, maybe.
Or whatever. So, I guess like Arcturus like sees it and sees that Little Fox has still got the rope around her waist, and Arcturus like raises his hands like not too far from his weapons belt though, and he like starts speaking this language that sounds sort of similar to the rushing of the wind outside. And he says like, we are just here to take something that was stolen from us. We don't mean you or yours any harm. Please.
Okay. So Malik, you as you're climbing, you've looked up, and Little Fox and Arcturus are both looking away from you now, right? Like, unless Little Fox, are you still focused on? Do you manage to ignore the giant? So these things, so you can see their token size. They're very big.
Yeah.
So have you also like stopped to look at this thing, or are you still looking down at Malik?
She like looks over her shoulder and her eyes narrow, and then she like looks back down really intensely and just starts hauling Malik up the side. Like, I'm just gonna pull him up.
Okay. So Arcturus, the creature makes no indication that it can understand you, and takes a few steps towards you, kind of like making itself bigger and like flapping its wings a little bit. You can tell it's still groggy from waking up, but it's getting closer, and it opens its mouth, and wet, sharp rows of teeth are visible, glinting in the wan light.
Little Fox, you could talk to creatures, right? You should try this one, please.
And yeah, she like, without looking now, it's just like hauling you up. It's like being on an escalator that's going way too fast or something.
By the way, Ishi at the bottom of this is like, no wait, I need the. Come on.
Yeah, so she just like turns to it and like makes eye contact with it and just says, settle down, I'm busy, wait for me, and like is like hauling Malik up.
Wait, when this rope starts hauling, can I like cling onto the end of it?
So Arcturus, no, Malik is too far up for you to you could climb up the ladder after him. But so Little Fox, you turn and you kind of just dismiss it. You're just like, hang on.
I'm like settle down, just settle down and wait. Like,
so,
I'm telling it to like not be in a hurry and not like.
Yeah, it lunges forward, though not to attack, and it opens its beak. You can see its gross pink tongue and like bits of flesh still stuck in its teeth, and it screeches at you at a like massive, horrendous volume. So you and Arcturus both, like, your ears immediately start ringing. And yeah, it screeches incredibly loud. You hear everybody outside. You hear a bunch more of those screeches up above, as some more of them like wake up.
Cool. Is Malik up on this level yet?
Yeah, I think we can.
I guess I'm climbing.
So let's
Yeah.
go.
Sorry, friend.
Fuck.
Uh,
I'm gonna fall off this tower and
Don't
die.
you have really good dexterity?
You're gonna be
Yeah,
okay.
but that doesn't mean anything when I don't have advantage.
Do
Okay.
you have inspiration? You
No.
spent it.
Yeah,
So-
we both just spent our inspiration.
So let's let's roll initiative, and we can determine what order in which these things occur. It's not necessarily a fight, but this thing is pissed. You just wandered into their nest.
Mm-hmm.
So let me character sheets here.
Awesome. Excellent.
Zoom in. Okay. All right. Let me roll initiative for these little guys. Okay. All right. Gaberdalin has made a point. If you have advantage, you have inspiration, you can give it to someone else if you're worried
Have
about
mine.
someone else making the
I would willingly give inspiration.
Sorry, what was that, Dave?
Have mine.
Ah,
Oh.
okay. Yeah, so we'll get there. Malik, let's see, did everybody we're missing initiative for Little Fox.
No.
Or sorry, for Ishi.
Oh, sorry. Yeah, I was climbing up the side, so I went like, oh, I didn't do it. Oh, hang on. I'm sorry, everybody. There we go.
Okay. All right, let me descend that order. Okay, so
I'm also trying to figure out.
whoa, that's a
Kobold
lot of
flying.
20s. Okay. So on a tie, I think I get to resolve
I
it.
thought it was whoever has the highest dex mod.
Let
The
me-
highest dex mod is what I recall as well.
Yeah,
Yeah.
let me double check here.
So that would mean it would be either Little Fox or Malik because they're both +2.
Unless it's
Initiative. If a tie.
No, they're +1.
I will quote the rules for you.
Yeah.
Oh,
All right.
just among GM controlled creatures.
Yeah.
Oh,
So let's
GM
let's
decides.
let's split the
Okay.
difference. We'll go Little Fox, the Terrafolk, and then Malik. So yeah, Little Fox. It's basically
Oh, we
just.
get to decide, Adam.
Oh
It
yeah,
says
yeah. Well,
the
no. So
players
if a
decide
tie.
the order among their tied characters.
Okay, then I'll go, and then you two can go, or vice versa, right? Because like if it's tied between a monster and a player, then I decide the order, and then you decide.
Oh
what
yeah,
order
sorry.
the two of you go in. Yeah.
Yeah, so we get to decide how we sequence. You get to decide overall where things go. So
Yeah.
it's up to you.
Okay. Well, the only like the fairest way is by dex mod. So I've got a +1. Malik, what do you have?
2.
A +2.
And I have a 2 as well.
Okay, so you two can decide, and then it'll go.
Okay, great.
So who wants of the two of you?
You're
I mean, I think
close up.
Malik, at this point, you're being pulled up the top of the ladder. So it's
Yeah.
probably easiest for Little Fox to go first.
Yeah, and
Sounds good to me.
I mean, yeah, I guess I'll talk to this thing. I'll try. It's not going to end well because I'm not actually very good at talking, but here we go. So, yeah, she's like, all right, I can talk to you now. And like, hands in a very like gentle, like soothing kind of pose. Not making direct eye contact, but like facing, but like looking a little bit away, like doing a lot of the like ways that you engage with animals without threatening them.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't have to worry about being bigger or more imposing than this thing because it's enormous.
Yeah,
So,
it's like currently it's undergoing squeezing rules because it's got to squeeze to get out.
yeah. And so, yeah, she just kind of like says some like soothing platitudes at it of just like, no, it's okay. You can just stay asleep. It's fine. Like, we'll be on our way. We don't need to bother you. And so she's just trying to like talk it down and get it to chill out.
Even though it already like talked to all its friends.
Yeah.
It let out like an alarm shriek.
It's not going to work. It's like buying time so we're all up here, I think is the best we can hope for.
Yeah.
These things
Are
are predators.
she doesn't want to have to kill a million animals.
Yeah, I mean, I think
Animal
you're
things.
expert enough to know this is not an animal.
Okay,
These-
well then, in that case,
I was gonna say yeah. So maybe you start that and then you get a closer look at it.
yeah, all of
these-
this is actually cover for me smashing it in the face.
These
with a
things
hammer.
are technically monstrosities. They are not natural creatures of the jungle.
So it wouldn't know.
It's
the
not so much.
language.
It's not so much that it wouldn't necessarily like yeah, if you treat it like an animal, it's not gonna work the same way.
Yeah. So she starts talking at it and like advancing as if she's non-threatening, and then just like get it with the hammer.
Okay, all right. Yeah, so you can go ahead and move yourself.
And she will just like rage and go at this thing.
Yeah. Since it's squeezing, you have advantage.
Great. That's good news for me because here I go.
Mm-hmm.
I hit it with a 24 if that hits it.
Here I go, mauling again.
And I do 11 damage.
Okay. All right. So you swing the hammer and crash into this thing's body. Its bones, because it's a flying creature, right, are hollow. So you like snap a bunch of it, and it cries out in pain and anger, and and like tries to grab your hammer, and gets its big sort of Sauron face up next to you.
Yeah, and it's as much like wrestling match as hammer beat down, and this huge thing, and her just like tangling, and she's like grabbing at its face and trying to smash it with a hammer. Yeah.
Okay.
And they're both screaming at each other.
Yeah. Malik, as part of your move, you can move that 5 feet up off the top of the ladder, but you're coming up over the ladder as you start your turn.
Okay. Yeah, I climb up the top of the ladder. I see that, and then hear the combat starting. So, a new spell we haven't seen from him before, but he like holds his hands together, does a few like symbols, speaks some words, and as he draws them apart, there's like lightning pulsing between his fingers, and he spins it out and round, and I'm going to cast Witch Bolt.
Nice.
Pew! It's 14 hit.
Yes, it does.
Okay, great.
What's giving you advantage in that roll?
It's squeezing.
Ah, that's right. Yeah.
There we go. Oh, max damage. Nice.
Nice. Okay. Cool. So you kill it.
It's
Oh,
lightning.
kill it.
Yeah.
Real lightning.
Yeah. They're fairly fragile. They're big, but they're fragile. So you blast it, and it's clinging to Little Fox, clawing at her, and then as bolt of lightning strikes it, and it falls over backwards, smoke drifting from its nostrils.
So this is of course the moment where like you can see Little Fox's like skeleton highlighted as she's like wrestling it down, and you're lightninging.
Yeah,
it.
totally.
Yeah.
You pull away, and there's little bolts of witch fire kind of like jumping
like-
around on you.
Yeah.
Yeah, it stays on it, so it's like a whip, and I draw it off, and it curls back up into my hand into a ball, and I
Sweet.
close it.
Awesome.
I am very impressed with your lightning powers.
Okay, let me.
Oh, you do lightning too? Oh, let's talk about lightning.
Right. Okay. So let me.
Don't make fun of me.
It's time for Terrafolk.
Okay.
I'm not making fun.
Turns and shouts also down to Ishi, and it's like, they're attacking.
I'm doing my best.
All right. So this one, another one moves from the little nest that you've disrupted up towards you, Little Fox. And you can see in the shadows at least 2 more of them kind of like come like lumbering forward, snapping their beaks and snarling as this one climbs up over the body of the first and snaps out with its.
Oh, this is so bad.
On the plus side, you have them bottlenecked, right? And they're squeezed in. So
This is one of those moments where it's like they're monsters, but also we're monsters. We're like coming into their home, killing them in this systematic, horrible way.
All right, so it gets to make its regular attacks, but they're all at disadvantage. So it snaps out with its jaws, and then it makes 2 claw attacks. All right, the first claw attack, even with disadvantage, hits you, but it's not a crit. So you take 8 rather than 8 plus 6. You're muted, and you take half that if you're raging.
That's what I was saying. Is I take half that when I'm raging, Adam. That's what
That's right.
Yes, thank you. Great, excellent.
This is one of those moments where I need to be one of them wingling kobolds.
Yep. Okay, so let me put your rage back in there. Not 9 plus. That's not a number. Okay. Great. So,
Didn't Malik already go?
Yeah.
The order's weird.
No, that's fine. I had to reset the order because I added. I just had to make sure these other two.
Okay,
How
here
far?
we go.
So the ladder is what, 90 feet?
90 feet. Yeah, and if
Can
you don't
I
have a climb
borrow-
moving speed, that means it's difficult terrain.
Can I borrow an inspiration? Because it's going to take me a minute.
Yeah, Malik sent you.
Yes, yeah. Malik spent.
Malik.
Am I going to have to roll
Alex,
climbing on every...
No,
like-
just the once.
Okay, all right, cool. Here we go then. Hey!
Okay, all right. So
Thank God!
inspired by Malik. All right, so it's gonna take you. Let's do the math. So it's 90.
It's going to take me 3 turns.
It takes you
to
3
get
turns?
up there with double movement, yeah.
So it
Dash
takes
right
you
there.
2 turns to get within 30 feet.
Yes.
Okay, because I have the thing that I need to do once you're close enough, but if it's going to take a whole nother turn for you,
So
to
that's 1 turn of climbing. That's 30 feet.
That is
I'm
1 turn. Yeah.
up right now.
so you're still 60 feet down, which means
Yes.
I can't do bless yet.
Let me hold on. Let me just grab you. I'll put you on the ladder here.
Or I could just bless everyone except for you. Bless myself. Can I bless myself?
Just
Yeah.
yeah,
Yes.
yeah, you can.
Okay, well then I'll just cast bless on the 3 of us that are up here.
Yeah.
So it's concentration up to a minute. So that's 6 turns, 10 turns.
10 turns.
Because they're 6 seconds each. So you get to roll a d4 whenever you make an attack roll or a saving throw.
Okay, I've
It's
marked.
just like guidance on everything for a
Guidance
while.
for
Yeah.
everybody, for every.
Well, not everything, but yeah. Okay. All right, so I've marked everybody who's blessed with a blue dot.
Yeah, and it's like for a second, it's like you hear like when you put a seashell up to your ear,
Right.
but it's like you didn't do that obviously, and you just hear
Yeah.
like that sound, and I know what it's saying because I speak primordial, but you don't know what it's saying, and it's just like a blessing from the god.
It's saying landwalkers suck.
Yeah. The ocean rules. Okay, do you want to move or do anything else, Arcturus?
I'm gonna stay back. I don't want to get in range of the Terra folk.
Okay. What are you doing, Dave?
You can change the core roll now, so I've changed it to 1d20 plus 1d4.
Oh, I see. I was like, why is that? It shows a 1, but yeah. Okay.
Yeah, 19 and then plus.
Yeah.
I was just saying.
It's like that's a plus 25. Okay. All right. Little Fox.
Okay, the point of order, there should be a space between all the letters in rage in all caps. To
No,
make
I
have-
did it to enrage you.
Yes,
I
that's
thought I
how,
would.
that's
I thought I
how
would help.
I'm
I thought I would
already
help inspire you.
Slightly irritated.
Yeah.
Yeah, that makes me hit
It's,
for
it's-
extra 2 damage.
It's, it's Little Fox's knuckle tattoo.
Yeah.
Rage.
Rage.
So I will swing again with my mighty maul. It does a 10 hit.
Mm-mm.
Plus
Plus 1d4.
Oh, sorry, plus 1.
Yeah, a 10 does not hit, but blessing might help. It's the rage of SpongeBob.
13.
Yes, that's a hit.
Okay, cool. Thank you, Ishtishia, for your blessing.
Yeah, you better thank Ishtishia.
Okay.
Just chill, okay? Just be cool. The thing takes 12 damage.
All right. So yeah, smash. You're just like fighting them. If this one dies, it's gonna be real hard for anyone to get in or out of this thing because they're starting to pile up.
There's like an abattoir kind of atmosphere here of just like
Mhm.
trying to pile this thing into the thing's head or like knock its beak aside and like into the wall. It's horrific.
Yeah, absolutely. Okay, so the folks
Don't worry
The-
about me. I'm coming.
the folks who are outside, you hear the high-pitched squall above you, several, maybe 100 feet or so, and you see dark forms drop off the
Ah,
edge
crap.
of the outside. And let's see, I think 3 more Terrafolk come flying down from above.
Great.
And yeah, and they come to say
Okay.
hello.
Goodbye.
So you're still too far away, Ishi. Like even if they dive it like straight down, it'll take a second to get to you. But Malik and Arcturus, you get attacked. So these two, the trick with them is that these ones they're bigger. They are darker color. These ones are like a much darker green. And you realize now that the ones you're fighting on the inside are like the infirm or the elderly terrafolk. These are the grown-ups. And so they come shrieking down from above to make their attacks.
We were fighting old ladies.
It's true.
Good.
That's so rude.
So ladies will mess you up. They'll put like soap in your mouth and shit.
see.
I'm pretty sure it's not rude on
okay.
our account.
So
We're gonna
at a dive bomb, they make it to you because they can fly 50 feet a turn. So they dive bomb towards you, and at the beginning of their next turn they'll get to attack, and then this other terrafolk will move another 50 and get to attack Ishi. So nobody gets attacked this turn, but you're all like engaged by these ones, so they're towards you. All right, Malik, what are you gonna do?
All right. Well, I am going to cast sleep.
Okay.
Because if they
Put
fall
the
asleep
flying
while
ones
they're
to
in the air,
And let them fall and take 20d6 damage. Yes.
hopefully.
I mean, but these ones aren't old and infirm. They might have more hit points.
They
Right, but hopefully I can
absolutely
get
have
one.
more hit points.
Hopefully I can get one.
Okay, so you want to center the spell so that it affects like these three.
Yes.
It'll affect you and your friends, but you're hoping that they have less hit points than you do.
No, I can make it further out.
Right, so you
that
want to
it
hit it
works.
out in space. Okay.
Yes.
I think that 99% of being a wizard is just knowing how far away stuff is, and
Oh,
at a
yeah.
glance knowing how much a cube takes up.
Oh
Right,
yeah.
that's what your main stat is.
Yeah, there is no way that a human just at a glance in a second could cast a spell and figure that out without some kind of magical help.
You realize that most average people have like 10 max in any of these stats.
Yeah.
So like having like 18 int is actually being really fucking
He's a
smart.
genius.
All right,
Ooh,
so your
about-
sleep spell does not affect any of them, unfortunately.
Yeah, they have 22 health.
Yeah.
Well, I mean that's my turn, right?
Mm-hmm.
I move in slightly.
Okay.
Oh shit. Okay.
Cursed somnomancy.
Yeah. Yeah,
Yeah.
99% of being a wizard is math. The other 26% is magic. Um,
Oh, as a bonus action, I'm going to
damn
spin
it.
my sorcery points into another spell slot, so I still have 2 left.
right, and that's a bonus action. Perfect.
Yep. It's all there for it.
All right. So the Elder Terrafolk, there's only one that can act. The two behind the one that you're fighting, Little Fox, are just like snapping their beaks and like crying out angrily, trying to get past this first one to get at you. And they're all riled up by the blood and the fighting and the screaming. So the one that you're fighting is going to make some attacks on you. Still has disadvantage. So bite attack. And then 2 claws. That claw hits. You take 4. Second claw attack is a miss.
Yeah, so I take 2 damage.
Yeah.
'cause-
So this one, like they're trying to, it's kind of like if it wasn't you fighting for your life, it'd be kind of sad. Like they're trying to, he can't spread his wings, and they keep catching their claws on the ceiling and trying to get at you. And there's like bits of stone flying everywhere as he tries to snap at you.
and she's like punching at them
Yeah,
and
it's
like
you got its
pawing
head like
the
punching
away,
in the
kinda, like,
eyes.
really-
I do not have any sympathy for the Terrafolk. Kind of sad. We're about to get thrown off a goddamn tower.
Cool. All right. Ishi, you spend your turn climbing.
I climb, I guess.
Now you
To
can,
my
if you,
cer-
now if
to
you
my
want
certain
to,
doom.
if you want to fight this thing while you're holding onto the ladder, you can get rid of your shield, right? Because you don't have your shield on, but you can leave your shield in your back. You can draw your rapier and hold onto the rungs with one arm and fight if you want, or you can keep
Am
climbing.
I going to make dexterity checks doing that, or
I think if you take damage, it might provoke like a dex save.
so I'm gonna take one either way because I can't get my shield out to defend myself. So I might as well start fighting. From
Yeah, the
here.
only thing is if you fight, you can't double move, right? You could like climb.
but I can single move
15
and
feet. Yeah.
and be helping rather than double move
Sure.
and not be helping.
Yeah, so you started with
Um,
90 feet, right? I'm gonna use the red box on the map for this. So you started at 90, and then you climbed
15.
You climbed
I
30,
climbed 30 and then 15 extra
and then
on top of
15
that.
this turn. Okay, so I'm actually gonna take it out of the initiative order.
Hanging on the thing. I'm just gonna try and stab.
Ah! Okay. Now there isn't any in range, but you see one dive bombing towards you.
Can I shoot it with a crossbow? Just
Shooting a
from-
crossbow one-handed.
from the
I mean, it's a light crossbow.
Yeah, I mean
It's not
you
a crossbow.
can. you can. Sure, if you want to. It will be on top of you in a second.
Then I wait,
let me
I guess, and I wait with my sword.
I think the held action with the rapier is probably your best bet because
Yeah.
Even a light crossbow is two-handed.
I brace on the ladder and prepare to die.
Okay, so when it gets within range, you will make an attack on it.
Yes.
That's your plan. Okay, all right. Brave little kobold. Okay, Arcturus.
That's my turn. No, I'm kidding.
So these, let me find a way to indicate. So like this one and this one are like at level with you.
Okay.
So you're able to move now, but it'll be your last opportunity before you get engaged. And this one is the one that's diving towards Ishi.
So I guess like I look back at the crowd at the mouth and like yell at Little Fox and I guess now Malik, and I'm just like, we need to get in there. I don't care what's in our way.
Push through.
Yeah. So I don't like, is there any way to get off of this?
There's nowhere to go.
Through these terrafolk in the cave is a way.
Yeah, but we can't do it
working on
right
it.
now. I'm going to take an attack and then we're going to lose our blessing.
Yep.
Concentration checks are pretty easy. I mean, you can attack this one that's in front of you, right?
Say that.
The other
Yeah.
option that is always an option is the dodge action. If you feel like you want to create disadvantage for these things, just saying.
Yeah.
I mean, it's a +4 to hit. And they've been rolling 3 attacks.
Don't even math Adam's rolls because he'll hit you like 8 times.
Okay, well,
out of 10.
here's what we'll do. We'll take a break here. You can ponder as a group your overall strategy, and we will come
Yeah.
back and we'll continue Patera fight when we return.
This time, can you not say your strategy is one thing and then change it after I take my turn? Because that was stupid.
I can do whatever I want.
Hey, don't look at me.
All right,
Noted.
stick around. We'll be right back.